Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time doing another film review, and this one is on The Next Karate Kid. Now, The Next Karate Kid is meant to be a 1994 martial arts drama film and is supposed to be the fourth installment in the Karate Kid film series. And keep in mind the film is meant to follow after the events of Karate Kid 3. And the point of the fourth one is meant to show after the three-story arc. We see how Mr. Miyagi travels to Alliston National Cemetery for the sort of memorial of the people who were lost in World War II, where he ends up meeting an old friend from his past, Louise Price, and at the same time, when being introduced to Louise's granddaughter, Julie, you can kind of tell Mr. Miyagi starts to see that Julie is a bit more angry against the world, she's a bit more hateful against people, and at the same time, after Louise decides to stay at Mr. Miyagi's place, we see how Mr. Miyagi plays the supporting role in helping Julie come out of her shadow. And I think the point of Julie's character is that she's an angry, irritated, and kind of lonely person who is against the world. And I think the point of Julie's character does work because she lost her mum and dad. You can tell she feels a bit like an outsider. And I think at the same time we do kind of see that Julie does have a bit of a warmer side, looking after her sort of hawk at the school, as well as dealing with basically Colonel Paul Dugan and his group, the Alpha Elites. And I think the point of Colonel Dugan is that it's kind of implied he's a bit of a racist, and the reason why there only seems to be one black member and a whole bunch of white guys, it kind of implies his group is meant to be more nationalists, more kind of extremists. And I think there's a difference with the Alpha Elite, Cobra Kai, and Sato. The point of Cobra Kai were meant to be a group that had no honor, and John Kreese was just a guy who needed help. The point of Sato was supposed to kind of be an angry, bitter man who morphed his nephew into him. The point of Paul Dugan, it's kind of clear he's more of a racial, angry, and kind of disturbed man. And keep in mind, is played by Michael Ironside, who actually does a great job in playing the kind of villain. And you can kind of tell the school start to question Dugan's methods and start to kind of see his more darker behaviour. And I think, to me, that's what I think makes Eric, when the members start questioning it, and actually leaves him. And I think the point of Ned is meant to be a dark counterpart to Eric, and meant to be a counterpart to Johnny. While Johnny looked up to John Kreese as a father figure, Ned kind of started to sort of be this kind of more darker, disturbed counterpart to Eric. And I think for the most part, we do kind of see how Mr. Miyagi plays the role in helping Julie learn karate and help her kind of no longer be against the world. We see how he does his methods in helping her come out of being bitter and angry. We see how, he takes her to a journey to a Buddhist monastery to help her control her anger and temper. And over time, we see how Julie learns to become a better person and learning to become something more than just something against the world. Now, I know a lot of people say the film copies the first film. I don't see that. There's a difference between Daniel and Julie. Daniel was just a kid who was a newcomer who got bullied, and Mr. Miyagi offered to help him. The point of Julie is that she's meant to be a kid against the world, and over time learns to kind of accept Mr. Miyagi as a friend and a grandfather figure. And I think for the most part the film does work, as it's kind of shown that the Alpha Elite, as well as Ned, go to extreme methods to make Julie's life a living hell. And you can kind of tell Paul Dugan shows no concern or care in his methods. And you can kind of tell the school start to question his more extremist ways. And I think the point of the film referencing the first, the second, and third one is still showing that this is Mr. Miyagi older and him helping the sort of next generation of the Karate Kid. And I know in season 2 of Cobra Kai, I know Daniel does mention Julie in a way, so showing that the next Karate Kid is still canon. So I think, to me, the next Karate Kid is an okay-ish film. It's still keeping true to what the Karate Kid films are, just going with a different approach to show a new, fresher Karate Kid. So I think the film definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.